There are a few things that we need to consider whenever we speak of e-tailers. The first thing is that the cost of entry into the e-tailer business is low, which of course is a plus point. The cost of entry in the e-tailer business is low because we do not need a lot of physical infrastructure. Yes, we might be having some warehouse or something where one can store a product if you need to store it, but other than that, in comparison to the retailer where you have to buy a certain shop, you have to set it up, you don't have to do all these things in case of an e-tailer. So the cost of entry into the e-tailing business is comparatively low. Another benefit is that we have lesser boundaries. There are many boundaries when we talk about retailers. There are a lot of boundaries when we talk about businesses in general. We have cultural boundaries, we have social boundaries, we have boundaries related to the laws and regulations of a certain country or a certain place. We have geographic boundaries. There are a lot of other boundaries as well. So when we talk about e-tailer, e-tailer actually does not face all these barriers. These boundaries are not there. These barriers, if not eliminated to 100%, they are eliminated to a very large extent. So this is another plus point that for e-tailer, the different barriers which we usually face in a business are not faced. We are free from all these barriers. Another point, which is not a very positive point about being an e-tailer, is the difficulty to survive. We have often praised an online business due to its opportunities, and those are very correct. We often mention opportunities like having an immense target market. The whole globe is our target market when we are operating online, because we do not face geographical boundaries, we do not face social boundaries, cultural boundaries, etc. So on one side, it is an opportunity because you can target the whole market, the whole globe. But on the other side, it also becomes a problem of survival because of intense competition. Yes, you do have the whole globe to capture as your market, but on the other hand, you do have a global competition. A physical retailer that exists in the real world may only compete with other retailers in that specific area. But when we are operating online, we are competing with e-tailers around the globe, which definitely makes the job very difficult, which definitely increase the competition exponentially. Revenue model, we talk about the revenue model of an e-tailer. An e-tailer, it can use a hybrid revenue model. Hybrid revenue model means that it might be using different forms of revenue models. It can be using the advertising revenue model, it can be using the subscription revenue model or affiliate revenue model or any other, right? So in case of an e-tailer, we can say that an e-tailer can make it can adopt a hybrid revenue model. We often hear words brick and mortar, click and mortar, these type of things. Brick and mortar is basically a category which represents the traditional businesses where things physically exist. Brick and click, as we can see, the word click has been introduced now. This is a situation where a certain shop or a certain business has physical presence as well as the online presence. We have seen that many business giants like Walmart or Tesco or many other, they originally had physical presence only, but with time, when things started to change, they also established their online presence. So brick and click means physical plus online presence. Then we have e-tailers. Now e-tailers are something who exist purely online and they do not have a proper physical existence. They exist online. Amazon, it's totally online. Daraz.com, it's totally online. Going to the next type or the next form which a business to consumer model can take is known as the community provider. Community, the word itself suggests where people combine together and they interact for any purpose, for entertainment purpose or for some educational purpose or anything. An online environment where people with similar interest can transact, they can share their interests and communicate with like-minded people. The first important thing to consider is that a community provider is a platform which brings together like-minded people, people of similar interest, and give them the ability to perform transactions on that certain platform. There are a lot of examples of community providers. For example, Facebook is a community provider. Now, Facebook itself, if we talk generally about the Facebook, it is a very broad community provider. But inside Facebook, we see different pages. Now, those pages are specific. Some pages might be related to a certain celebrity. Some might be related to a certain hobby. Some might be related to a certain country or a certain ethnic race, or it can be anything. So a community provider would be related to something specific, and that specific thing which the community provider website is related to is that factor which brings people together. As we have said, like-minded people. So for example, if there is a certain page which is all about cars, the automobile. So all the people who are actually present there would have an interest in cars. If someone does not have an interest in cars, that person won't be there, right? So this was a definition of community provider, that this is a place where people come together, they have similar interests, and they can perform transactions and they can make communications. Almost all the social media websites provide that. There are dedicated websites for this as well. A benefit of the community provider is that you will find what you need and whenever you need. For example, if you are searching for a car, so probably at least in Pakistan, the first thing anyone would do would be to navigate through parkwheels.com. So now instead of wasting your time and roaming around here and there on the internet, we know that Parkwheels is the relevant community, and we need to go there and we will find all our answers there. Not only we can make transactions, but we can communicate with people, we can discuss different issues, we can share ideas and learn from others people's experience. Revenue model, a hybrid revenue model would also apply here. They can use advertising, they can use subscription, they can use many others. Word of mouth marketing is what basically the promotion of these community providers actually mostly depend on. WebMD is another example. WebMD is a website. It is related to health and medicine. Anyone can visit it. You can search your issue if you are facing a certain health issue. You'll find people sharing their own experience about that specific diseases, and you may find all the details about the disease and possible solutions and symptoms and reasons and how to avoid those diseases. So WebMD is also a community provider, and the common interest of people here is health and medicine. CSS Forum is another website. It is related to the CSS exam. So different CSS aspirants and different people who have actually appeared in these exams, they combine together and they help each other out through discussions and communications. The next type of business to consumer model would be the content provider. The word itself suggests that it will provide you content, all kinds of content. Content can be of many types. It can be some text, maybe some stories, or maybe some research articles. It can be songs, audio, video. It can be news. It can be anything. For example, Harvard Business Review is now, it is a journal which provides us different articles about business. So, what type of content they are producing? They are producing, maybe we can say text content or educational content or business related content or research content. mp3juices.com. This website provides us audio content. You can download mp3 songs from there. YouTube, probably the biggest source of videos on the internet. bbc.com, we get news from there, news content, etc., etc., right? So hybrid revenue model would also apply here. Ads would be there, subscriptions would be there, affiliations would be there, and maybe transaction fee as well. So when we are talking about content provider, broadly we can, they are not formally defined, but broadly we can see two distinctions in them. The first type would be the type of content provider who actually owns the content which they are providing. For example, BBC documentaries or TED.com, all the videos which we find there, they are actually owned by those specific websites. On the other hand, we have a phenomenon known as syndication or aggregation. This occurs when the content is collected from different sources and provided on a single platform, but that does not mean that that content would be owned by the platform. No, the platform does not own that content, it is just gathered from here and there. YouTube an example, msn.com is an example. The next type is portal. Yahoo is a portal, MSN is a portal, America Online is a portal, Google is a portal, and many others. What is a portal? A portal actually provides us a wide array of online services. It will provide us powerful search tools, an integrated package of content, and many other services. For example, let's take msn.com or yahoo.com. Let's talk about yahoo.com. Now Yahoo is a portal and it provides us almost anything. It provides us news, it provides us all kinds of update, it provides us with a search engine, it provides us with the mailing services, maintaining your calendar, maintaining your contents, even have a backup of your photos and other things. So yahoo.com, msn.com, these are portals and they provide us a wide variety of package, and this is why sometimes they are also called gateways to the internet, because through here you can access almost anything on the internet. Hybrid revenue model would persist, mostly advertising and affiliations. We have two types of portals. We have vertical portals and we have horizontal portals. Horizontal portals are broad. They are very general. They are about anything like MSN, Yahoo. These things are not about anything specific. But vertical portals would be that type of portals which are specific to a certain interest or a certain subject, maybe sports or maybe medicine or maybe acting or maybe food or anything. The next form of B2C consumers business model, it can be the transaction brokers. Who are the transaction brokers? It can be a person or it can be an organization, a group of people who make transactions for consumers that are normally done personally. There are certain things that we need to do in person, but maybe it's too hard to do or maybe you don't have the time. So transaction brokers are always there. In exchange for a certain fee, they would offer those services to us. Now we can need any kind of service. We can need financial services, we can need maybe travel advice or something, we can need job placement services, we can need firing services, we can need a consultancy or something. So sendvalue.com is a website. It provides you financial service. Maybe you need to send money somewhere in another country, in any corner of the world. You just click there and your work will be done. We have travel advisors like TripAdvisor. It's a website. It gives you all advice about trips. It suggests you where to go, where not to go. It suggests you what are the good hotels, where the rooms are available, and everything. It's a complete package. If you need, there are organizations who are between the job aspirants and different organizations who are looking for employees. So these job placement organizations, they do offer a service they provide workforce to those companies. Firing is also a very important part of an organization, but somehow it can get very rough. It can get rough emotionally, it can get rough physically at times as well. So firing is not easy, and mostly organizations where it is a regular practice or something big is about to happen, they hire a certain firm which fire people from them. The firm directly does not have to face them or communicate with them. Out of the topic, but there is a movie known as Up in the Air. It is all about a firm which actually fires people for different organization. If a certain organization want to fire some staff, they just call this firm and the rest is done by this firm. So it's an interesting movie, you can watch it. Rosie.pk is another website related to job placements. Revenue would mostly be through transaction fee, but there can be other modes as well. Next we have market creators. What are market creators? Market creators build a digital environment where people and sellers can meet. It's a platform. They provide the platform, and then sellers and buyers from different places, they come together and they can make transactions and they can make things happen. We have eBay, we have Amazon, we have OLX, we have Parkwheels, we have AliExpress. All these things, they are market creators. They have given us a platform where we can go and we can conduct business. Now all of them, they operate slightly differently. eBay is more focused on auctions. Amazon.com is an e-tailer. OLX and Parkwheels, they mostly deal with the secondary market where people can buy and sell used stuff. We have AliExpress. So all these are market creators. These people have provided a platform where people from anywhere can come and they can conduct business. We have service providers. We can need any type of service. These service providers would just provide us anything, a very wide array of services online. You just name them. Maps, if you want to buy something, if you are looking for some pictures, you want to broadcast something, you want to make video calls, you want to search something, you need a consultancy about something or anything. All these things are provided by service providers. A single service provider may not be providing all these things, but specifically, respectively, they are providing almost everything. So in a very vague sense, we can say that almost every website on the internet is type of a service provider. Every website is offering us something. A revenue model, it can be hybrid. That was all for today. I hope we will have a good interactive session in our live session. Quote of the day, as usual, you can see it, read it, understand it, and try to apply this into your lives. It will result into betterment. Thank you.